The Akuban knights are in Wicthron Rorenta, finishing their preparations to slay the black dragons. Sammy proposes the idea of researching some magic to help the party, but the consensus is reached that waiting for a few more weeks is not feasible. Buderios collects some more information about the Dwellers of the March and fixates on the idea of cooperating with them to get rid of the dragon, while Maya seeks out the same ranger who helped out Bud to get some belladonna to have some poison goats they can bait the dragon with. The group departs for the Blackwood Marsh, and they do not encounter anything interesting or hostile until Sammy starts looking around with clairvoyance and finds a posse of bullywugs tracking them. And after getting his clairvoyant eye eaten, he breaks the connection. Bud attempts to convince the bullywugs to treat peacefully with the help of some dried rations, but the marshes stay quiet until Sammy sends out a magical messenger bird, which triggers the frogmen to attack. There are many spears going for the young wizard, and he is grievously wounded, so he decides there is no peaceful way of subduing these creatures, and blows the horn of blasting. The horn wreaks havoc on the bullywugs, and the rest of them are quickly dispatched, and one of them is even captured alive, for the purpose of gathering information on the dragons. As Sammy is in need of healing though, the Akuban knights leave the swamp, and rest up a little close to Grumprun, until Sarah can heal all of the sustained wounds. Magic allows the party to interrogate the frogman, who turns out to be quite the charming fellow, and is eager to lead the party to the dragon, as he assumes it would just be their doom. He furthermore informs them that the two dragons have separated their lairs, and are now living on opposite sides of Nereid Lake. Just before arriving at the lake, the group makes sure to oil up properly, to protect against any acid-related attacks, and Maya feeds the belladonna to Dan the goat, who sadly succumbs to it just before arriving at the lake, so adjustments have to be made to the plan. The dead poison goat is strapped to a summoned horse, which is sent forward to be dragon bait, while the party hides from sight. Shortly after, the beast shows itself and does indeed go for the bait. It doesn't work out quite as planned though, and the dragon slays the horse first, which makes it vanish, and alerts the dragon to foul play. It takes to the skies and spots the hiding party members as combat ensues. The Akuban knights do their best to spread out, and after taking a breath attack, they realize that for at least a few attacks, the oil makes them completely immune to acid damage. Buderios uses the horn of blasting he took from Sammy to ground the dragon, where they rush to attack it and disable its swing, grounding it forever. Just before the mighty creature is slain, Bud takes some heavy blows from the dragon's vicious teeth and claws, but before there is time to even celebrate, the second dragon shows up, ready to avenge his fallen sibling. There are a few rounds of firing at the dragon, while it breathes more and more acid onto everyone except Sammy, and it finally manages to corrode through all of the oil on Sarah, causing some nasty acid burns. Eventually, this dragon's wing is also destroyed, but it manages to glide down well, straight towards Sammy, where it proceeds to try and rip him to shreds. The young summoner is bleeding out on the floor, as his brother takes the risk and blows the magical horn once again, disabling the black dragon for a while, as he climbs onto its back and hacks into the neck of the dragon. Sarah does a valiant job of tanking dragon attacks, as Maya takes the last hit with her bow, and just in time, the cleric of Martha gets to her twin brother and saves his life. Sarah wishes to send this creature off mercifully, and gives it some last moments of happiness, just before Maya executes it, whispering, "For Vorasi." Not long after, many strange fireflies appear, but upon closer inspection, they seem to be glowing humanoids with wings. What are these strange creatures? Now that they are a certified party of dragon slayers, will their next target be Scoria the Red? Will the poor bullywugs still be hunted for their delicious legs? Find out now on Akuban Nights.
Hello everybody and welcome to Akuban Nights. How are you guys all doing today?
Hi.
Well, Neal, I think it was a really good episode. I want to give everybody a shout out for attending, and I'll see you next week.
All right, guys, it's been great. I hope you enjoyed our 20 minutes of pre-show.
If you're having a look, that today is called episode 22, Death on Red Wings. So,
Oh, did he change it again? Oh god.
No, it's the same
no,
as
that
it was
was-
before.
Yeah.
So you're leaving? Just gonna skip this one?
I don't know yet.
Oh no, I've sprained my dice hand. Ah, no.
Quickly, somebody throw something on their keyboard, like drop your tea, people.
Don't even joke about that. Don't even joke.
I have done that before.
This is an expensive keyboard.
My wife spilled water all over her laptop the other day, and it had a good 4 hours of slightly functioning. But it's fine now.
So you dunked it in a bucket full of rice, right?
And then I put it in the microwave underneath a pile of sand inside a dehumidifier. Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Now it doesn't work, but it's dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have flashbacks to the time my liquid cooling, the pipe popped off.
Oh god.
The liquid on my graphics card.
I'm very scared about going into liquid cooling for that very reason.
Yeah, I went back to air after that. I was just like, no.
All the people will be like, "Oh, that never happens," and then there's a few ones, where that happened.
No,
like,
it happened. It was a name.
Never
It was a
do
name
it.
brand.
There's no warranty for water damage, guys.
Yeah.
It's fine.
rough.
So anyway, let's go and murder some fairies or something.
Yeah. Buzzing all about you are fairies or pixies or sprites or some diminutive winged fae folk.
Sarah.
Mm?
Maybe they want to see a more friendly face.
I'm going to extend a hand towards one of the pixies so it can land on it if it wants to.
It just kind of hovers in front of you and goes, "Hello there, and thank you."
Oh, hello. What language are they speaking? Is it Eridonian?
Nope, they're speaking. I guess they're speaking Akuban at this point. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Hello.
Thank you for what exactly?
For slaying the dragons. They've destroyed our red oak.
Oh, it's terrible. I'm so sorry. Did you live in it?
They sort of buzz about, and the one that has been speaking to you gives maybe like a little pixie chuckle where it covers its face with its hands and sort of like bobs up and down in the air for a moment and goes, "Live in it! Don't be silly!"
I apologize if I have offended you.
No offense taken. It's just live in a tree. What are we, elves?
I assume not.
No, we're pixies.
Oh, of course.
May I introduce myself? I am Mixie the Pixie.
Well,
Very
it's nice to meet you.
It's an honor. You mind if I sit down just for a minute? I feel not so good.
They buzz about you, sort of like all over you, surrounding you for a moment, as they sort of like inspect your
Bite
injuries
marks.
and wounds and bite marks and like the little bits of flesh that are still oozing and dripping off of you. But they don't give you or deny you permission to sit. They just kind of flit about you in circles.
Yeah, slowly sit down, as it seems that they aren't a threat. I can relax a bit more, maybe get Nekka as well to the location we are sitting down. Sarah, here. Take it. And I hand you the horn of blasting.
Trying to get her to kill the pixies?
No. I'm taking it and I'm putting it like into my backpack.
Careful you don't set stuff by accident. I am Maya, by the way, and these are my siblings. So what did you do with this red oak then? It's
our gateway to the Feywild.
The what?
The Feywild in the fuck is that country's name? In Sylvis.
I'm just like, the what sister? Do you know what the Feywild? I don't know what the Feywild is.
So you can't go back now, is what you're saying?
We live here in the swamp, but we use it to move move between locations.
Is there another gateway somewhere? Those
Countless gateways. But this one was important because it connected us to Sylvis, to Feywild specifically. And when it's gone, we can no longer travel there.
Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that.
The Elven realm.
Mm-hmm. They are cousins. What brings you here?
Well, dragon slaying. Yes.
There's lots of like pixie nodding up and down as they like buzz around you. You count maybe 20 or 30 of them ish.
Tell me, do you have any healing magics at all?
One of them buzzes over towards you. What sort of wound do you have here?
Oh, well, if they buzz over to me, I'll point them at Sammy and I'll just be like, my brother is somewhat badly wounded.
They buzz around him. It's mostly acid damage, right, Sammy?
It was claw damage. I didn't take any acid.
Oh.
I think it was a claw and a bite.
Okay. They look at Sammy and go, he's far too large for any of our healing magics to work. He's huge.
Yes. He's. Oh dear. Yes. Is there anything you could do for our more minor injuries, perhaps?
I'm sorry. You're just too large for us to work on you.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Sense.
Are you going to Sylvis?
Oh.
Ever? Soon?
Well, maybe. Why are you asking?
We need to plant a new red oak. It's too far for us to go. And
so you need somebody to go to Sylvis to plant the oak on the other side, is that it?
Pixie nods and enthusiastically. Yes, that's it.
So, wait, this isn't
at the very least to
Feywild?
deliver it.
They want us to go to the Feywilds and plant an oak?
No. Just to
Sylvis?
Sylvis.
Oh, is that in the Elven?
I heard the elves don't like it when people trespass, though.
Oh
Is
no,
that
they
right?
really don't. They won't let you in. But you can give it to them and they'll plant it.
Yes.
Right. That makes sense.
How likely are they
sure.
to shoot messengers?
I don't know. I've never been a messenger.
I'll extend a hand. If any of them, do you have it here somewhere?
The Mixie kind of looks at the others, and there's like this weird buzzing sound that's like a high frequency CRT monitor that's kind of going or something as they prattle back and forth in whatever language they have. And finally, Mixie looks back to you and goes, "Not yet, but my sister will become one soon for you. She just has to say her goodbyes."
Ooh.
And one of the pixies
Wait.
goes and starts buzzing to the others and flying about.
She's turning into...
Mm-hmm. Yep. How else do you create... That's how red oaks get made.
That's mildly horrifying. Do they retain sentience, or...?
No. Different stage of life, you know? Like, how do you say... When you were... Are you the same thing as your mother's womb?
Oh, I see where you... Right, okay, yes. Interesting. It's usually the other way around with us with regards to sentience. But anyway, interesting. Okay, so we'll be very careful with her, then, I guess.
Thank you.
Really disturbing.
So the pixies are sort of buzzing around. One of them is clearly moving more quickly and bouncing between all the others. While you guys sit here, and Bud, I think, is collapsed on the floor.
How do you use these trees?
What do you mean?
I mean, if you plant a tree there, How do you travel there?
Through the Feywild.
Is that hard to open such a portal?
No, it comes naturally to us.
So could you send me through such a portal?
You're a little big. And you have too many clothes on. And weapons. And shoes. And armor.
We would need to be naked? Oh, please no.
Only inorganic things can travel through the Feywild. Organic things can travel through the Feywild. And then some weird magic shit. I mean stuff, haha.
Language.
It might take us a while to get to Silvus. We are on our way to the capital of this land. And then it will take us through a longer journey through the desert to get to Silvus.
Is the desert near Silvus?
It is our home. We're from Akuban.
There's lots of nodding of heads and bobbing around. And a second pixie starts flitting and fluttering about near the other ones, while the first one that was kind of jittering around heads over towards a spot on the ground, and Mixie goes, "Look, she's gonna do it." And then she kind of like spins, the pixie that's moved sort of spins and bobs up in the air a little bit, and then like plummets into the ground, vanishing, and like a little sapling bobs and sprouts up instantly and then retains its form. Maybe, a couple inches high, like 10 centimeters high.
It's alright, we can do inches.
Well, you can do inches, but
Oh yeah, that's true. The Europeans,
right?
The continental Europeans can't.
I think they're just regular Europeans.
I'm a European until fucking Brexit.
And inches, Neal.
Okay.
Do we still measure like? Do they measure penises in inches over on the continent? Yeah.
Everything else is in metric, but penises have retained the inch.
Yeah, basically.
Because it's easier to round up.
Yeah, and it's also because, because you're there going 32 centimeters, it's like, how, what? And then, 8 inches is just like,
Wait. 30 centimeters is a foot.
I know. I just said the first number that came to mind. I'm not good at,
Penis size, metric.
See?
Can we stop talking about inch-long penises with pixies near us? It's just not think about it.
I'm gonna ask Mixie. So, do I need to water the sapling to keep it alive, or is it like a normal tree?
Mm-hmm. It's like a normal tree, but magical.
Oh. Yeah, all right. So it will decay if I don't take care of it, though.
It's a hardy tree, though. It grows slowly.
Is there anything you have, like a token or anything that will show your cousins that we're not enemies of them?
Open your hands.
Like this? Like this?
Like this.
Oh, I opened my hands. I thought you meant a gesture. I'm sorry. I was like, you do I don't know, whatever.
She buzzes over on top of you and starts sort of flapping her wings more rapidly, and small little bits of golden dust fall off of her and begin to collect in your hands.
What is this?
Well, what do you think it is? It's pixie dust.
Right.
Don't breathe it in. I heard you can get high on it. Don't breathe it in, sister.
How did you hear that, brother?
One or the other brothel. There are stories.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
And after a little while, the second pixie that was flittering about awkwardly and buzzing about quickly to all the other ones does a similar thing and comes maybe a foot next to the small little red oak that's been planted in the ground and does a similar spinning and then dropping into the ground, and the oak sort of springs up and forms its state. And Mixie comes back to you and says, "This one's for you. When you get home, plant it and take care of it. This is a token of gratitude for helping and for ridding our lands of these nefarious creatures. This way we may come visit and speak.
Ooh, that's nice.
Lovely. That's incredibly kind of you. Thank you.
Like, does the dust fit in what? Like, should I put it in a vial, or is it that fine? Or I think I'll put it in. Yeah, I'll just put it in the empty vial that I have of the oil then.
Okay.
Because I'm worried if I put it in a bag, it's just gonna,
Yeah. So you can fill one of these vials with pixie dust. That's not a lot. It's maybe 2.5 centimeters worth of pixie dust. Yeah. And the rest of the pixies are still kind of fluttering about, and they come near the 2 small oak tree saplings and buzz about them, still not quite touching the ground, while Mixie hovers near you guys and says, lastly, as a token of gratitude, follow me. And she takes off at a surprising speed away from where you guys are and heads in that direction.
How many of it? Wait, is she saying it to all of us, or?
She just said it, in general.
In that case, I'm going to be like, brother, grab Sammy, let's go.
Yes, yes.
And I will take off after the pixie.
Excellent. She flies at surprising speeds. You have to maybe speed walk to keep up with her. And she will take you all the way over towards this large ruin over here, which I will bring us to... Oops, that's not how I drag you guys. This is how I drag you guys. Over here. And she flies over to this spot in particular where there is a stairway hidden by bushes and trees. And sort of flits around the entrance and says, down in here, there's a treasure awaiting you. Their mother, when she laid eggs here, a little bit of treasure fell out of her scales.
Oh,
It's too big for us to carry, though.
Oh, okay. I'm going to sort of carefully venture down into the thing. Then.
You go down the staircase and find sort of a damp, watery room with stone walls and a stone ceiling, but like the water level has come up through the floor.
Disgusting.
Yeah, it's a couple inches deep. You gotta like walk through it, and it splashes all around your boots, and there's like little bits of mold and moss growing on it. But beyond this first initial wet area, there's like a dry patch of land and a hallway that goes into a larger room that probably used to be a library or something. There's a couple of like bookshelves on the walls, but they look a little rotted and worn. There's a few books left in here, but they're all like moldy and gross. Yeah.
I'm going to look around very carefully just to make sure there's nothing horrible lurking.
Give me a perception check.
Okie doke. 25.
Oh yeah, there's nothing weird or gross here, but you also spot something glimmering in the corner, sort of on top of, let's see, if you've got like how do I want to describe it? There's a book, and it's sort of like stuck partially in between some pages of a book.
I'm going to sort of get one of my hair things out and just kind of prise it out from the book carefully, just because I'm deeply suspicious of everything.
As one ought to be. Okay. You pull out this amulet. It's made out of gold, and it has what do we call it? An hourglass emblazoned upon it. Black and blue.
Interesting. I will sort of pick the amulet up and sort of like have a closer look at it and just try and work out if it's anything in particular. Sort of like, I'm assuming I'll just be like, yeah, it's an amulet, but.
Yeah, it's an amulet. It's golden. Gold chain around it. The front of it has a set of
that would suit me, but
an hourglass that has like a blue top and a black bottom attached to it. And the back side of it.
If this is magic, this does something involving time, I'm betting. I'm going to leave it alone.
The back side of it has some impressions made in it that look maybe like writings or something, but you don't speak the language.
That's one for Sammy to look at, I think. Is the book completely manky and ruined, by the way?
It's pretty bad. Most of it is pretty ruined. You can flip through it. I don't think you cannot read the language in it. But it's got like moldy papers, and like the bottom half of the book is completely ruined and soggy, but the top half isn't, because it was sort of sitting in a little bit of water.
I'm just going to sort of like open the book and it's like, is there anything? Has it got any interesting pictures? Has it got any etching?
Yeah. It has a picture of a fort, partially in it, with some large towers on it, and it looks like there's people shooting arrows out of the towers at some sort of large winged creature, but like it's normally a picture that spans 2 pages, but the winged creature is mostly on the left page, which is ruined, and you can only see like a wingtip extending onto the right page where the fort is.
Interesting. In that case, I'm probably going to sort of like, I'm going to sort of grab the book and tear out the manky half and just keep the dry half.
Okay.
That'd be interesting. You never know. Might come in handy.
And the amulet?
Yeah, definitely keeping the amulet.
Okay. Excellent.
Do you need help? There must be a lot of coins down there. I heard dragons have large treasures.
No, I think we've got a magical amulet of some sort. It's got an hourglass on it. I'm going to hazard a guess it's something to do with time.
Can I have a look at it?
Yeah,
is it a holy symbol?
I don't know.
Oh. I think I have a look at it and I turn it in my hands and I say, I think that one is for Bard, actually.
Is my name on it?
No, but your symbol's on it, I say. And I turn the amulet towards him.
Crotch punching.
It is a symbol of tempos, isn't it? It's the hourglass. Like
it is. Yes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I just imagine I don't have to do a religion check for that. Like,
You're
I think that's
spot on.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just like, religion.
Yeah. Looks like a holy symbol. Could be. Tempos.
The Mixie buzzes around it for a moment, looking at it, and then sort of steps away and goes, "Ooh, writing's in Elven."
Oh, what does it say?
Well, I don't know. I can't read.
Oh. Well, at least, clue.
Everyone in your universe can read except for pixies, Neal.
Can one of the other pixies read Elven?
Mixie shakes her head and goes, No, we have no system of writing. We don't need it.
Your speech is magical, right? You don't really speak Akuban, do you?
And of course not. Don't be ridiculous.
Oh man, she's adorable.
I thought so. My brother can do the same. He is a wizard.
That one? She says, kind of buzzing over and around Sammy's head.
Yeah, the big one.
Oh.
He loves griffins. Wanted to write some, but never had the chance, sadly.
I've never seen a griffin.
Ah, majestic beasts, but wild. Well, not as wild as dragons, but... I'm happy we could help you. And I'm hope we can help you too. With the trees. As I said, it might take a bit, but we will not forget it.
We are eternally grateful for your help.
It's been an honor to meet you.
I'm gonna pack one of the saplings into the... I guess it's rather small, so would it fit into like a coin pouch?
Yeah, it's pretty small.
Like, so I can put the pouch around the bottom part where and put some earth into it, so the top just exactly, and the The top just sticks out of it.
The sprout is maybe as big as the salt shaker, right? So it's pretty small. And yeah, if you put some dirt in the pouch and put the plant in it, it'll fit perfectly. But you've got 2 plants. And
right, one for Akuban and one for Silvus.
Yes.
Does it matter which one's which? Well, she said this one, right? She would. I guess I would mark one because I do have some ink.
Yeah, she did specify initially.
Right.
I know this might be far-fetched, but as you travel different realms and travel all over the continent, it seems.
And beyond.
Well, there is a large dragon near Mystria. The name is Scoria, a red dragon that also fights against the elves in Silvus. Do you know anything about it?
No. Well, yes, we know of it, but we haven't heard from Silvus in 30 moons, 40 moons, 50 moons, a long time. We don't know anything as of late. Ever since the dragons destroyed our red oak that connected us to Silvus.
Well, we were passing.
Oh, right. Never mind. It's fine. Okay.
We were passing near Silvus a couple of moons ago. The forest is still standing. That's the only thing I can tell you about it. We didn't enter because the elves.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
they're very
Shitty about
hostile to non-fey folk
Well, that should be fun.
and gnomes. They're fairly okay with gnomes for some reason.
Is there any kind of friendly greeting that you can offer an elf?
You won't know the elf is there until long after it's seen you.
I don't even speak Elven. If you could teach me a friendly greeting, that might be nice.
In Elven?
Well,
Yeah, something we can shout
I
out to
take
say
it
we're
back.
coming in peace.
Of course.
I mean,
all
I
you have
take
to
it
say
back.
is, "Hello, I'm your friend. Don't shoot me."
Yes, yes, I
Oh,
noticed my fault.
I see. I said that in Elven, but you only hear it in your language, so
yes.
I can't
Yes.
really teach you anything.
That's true.
But just say that in Elven, and it'll be fine.
I'm sure everything will be fine anyway.
Good. You don't mind if we rest here for a night or two before we move on?
But no, it's fine. We're gonna go back to our other homes, though, and leave you in peace. But thank you.
Good. We can burn a tree for fire, right? You're not.
I
Offended by
wouldn't
it?
recommend
Branches.
it.
Maybe dead branches.
Don't do that.
No?
No, the giant evil frogmen.
Oh yes, yes. that's-
Bullywugs.
Yes, they'll see the fire, won't they? Maybe we could.
They're quite intelligent.
Yes. Well, they already know we're here.
Maybe you can build a fire underground in that ruined basement.
Was that the dragon's old lair? The
Well, that's
basement?
where the eggs were laid.
Is there an underwater entrance to that?
I wouldn't know. Pixies can't go underwater, you see. Our wings, they'd be ruined.
Yes, of course, I quite understand. I just feel like there's probably an underwater entrance there and we just get ambushed in the middle of the night and killed.
Oh, that sounds terrible. Maybe you shouldn't do that then. Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Well, we have to go now. But thank you.
Indeed, it was lovely to meet you, though.
And you, Maya,
Yes.
of the
Akuban Knights.
Akuban Knights. And the pixie then turns to Bedarios. And you are?
I'm Badarius.
Budarius of the Akuban Knights. And then finally turning to Sarah. And you are?
Sarah, and that's Sammy.
Sarah and Sammy of the Akuban Knights. Thank you. And the lights around the pixies fade, and you sort of lose track of them because they're small and quick-moving and insect-like, and then they're gone. And it's just 4 of you again, and 2 dead dragons.
Can we take any of the bits from the dragons?
Sure. I mean, how else are you going to prove to the queen that you killed one of them, or 2 of them? What would you like to take?
What's recognizably black, draconic, and easily portable?
A claw? I'm open to other suggestions, but that's what comes to mind.
I'll probably try and go for like a couple of claws and a couple of teeth, and I wonder if these are really good as potioning. Oh, do they have acid glands? I wonder.
We were originally like getting some stuff from the first dragon when the second one showed up, by the way.
So when the butchering starts, can I try to drag Sammy downstairs and light a fire down there so I don't have to watch all that?
Yes.
It's just like doop-de-doo.
Yep, I'll just be like, okay.
Twang.
Yep, exactly. And I'm just pulling Sammy over.
Yeah, I'm just there like levering some scales.
If anybody needs me, I'll be downstairs as I pop down into the water.
Maya's just
Heal
like
some of my wounds.
butchering a dragon.
If you have minus like lower than 5 HP wounds.
4 and a 3-point wound.
Sure. If you join me downstairs while I'm making the fire, I can quickly heal you.
I will.
All right. You guys can rest for the day. Your wounds can be healed. You can take whatever bits of the dragon you desire. And I believe we did this right around dusk, right? It was right around nightfall that you guys were showing up. So it must be dark by now. And you can spend the night here.
Question before it gets dark and the bullywugs show up and try and eat us. Do black dragons have like an acid gland?
You would have to dig around inside their body to figure it out. You want to do a dragon autopsy?
Fuck yeah.
All right. Give me a dragon autopsy proficiency check.
What would that be? Dex?
I have no idea,
Dex,
but we're going to figure it out.
Dex. Maybe Dex and Int or something, or Dex is good.
Let's see.
Because you've got to be dexterous to slice all the bits out carefully, right?
There should be anatomy, right? Or something. Anatomy and I think, is there butchering? I'm not sure if you have that.
There is a butchering, but I would figure
that.
this would be more like anatomy, probably. Let me take a look at what that...
It would be intelligence, I would think.
Well, it's probably...
Because you're basically investigating.
Right.
Maybe it's etiquette, to carve the dragon neatly.
So it's going to be an intelligence check at -2, but since you don't have an anatomy proficiency, you'll do that at half your base intelligence. So you're going to do a d20 plus 3. You've got a pretty poor chance to find this.
Indeed.
And you get to make 2 checks, though, because there's 2 dragons, so... Nope, the first one you don't... No. You start digging around in these things, and pretty quickly it's just a mess of, like, blood and organs and weird bits, and you're like...
Yeah, all the guts just kind of go flump, and I'm just like, that's disgusting. Right.
Yeah,
lovely.
yeah.
Fuzzy. Fuzzy. I'm gonna approach your I'm gonna approach Maya. Well, while you're at
up
it,
to her elbows in dragon.
Yeah.
What, brother?
I like pull out a hatchet and look at you. Say, could you help me get some scales for a nice cloak, maybe?
Got some. Oh, whoa. Dragon scale. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Certainly. I'm quite happy to leave with some more scales off. I've got the technique down. You've got to sever you've got to sort of lift it up and then just like pop the knife in, and it just comes right off.
I've never done this before. Maybe we should work together.
Certainly, yes. There's a little bit of connective. Have you ever opened an oyster? It's very similar. You've got to go lever it in and just pop the tendon.
There are a lot of things I can do with oysters. Good.
Brother, that's disgusting. Anyway, let's just...
I'm gonna
I guess-
downstairs. I'm gonna sing a lullaby for Sammy, so I don't have to hear how the scales are.
There goes the liver.
Oh,
Exactly. It's gonna be like a Akuban song our mom used to sing, probably.
Okay. We can successfully pass the day, the night in rest. There are no encounters. Maybe the bullywugs don't find you. Maybe they assume the dragons killed you. Maybe they...
the other bullywug told them about us.
Yeah, maybe they are keeping their end of the deal. Yep.
Okay. So we've got, getting a whole bag of scales? In fact, I think that's a good idea. Maya's probably going to get herself some black dragon scales as well, and going to see if she can get them made into some sort of, like, plating for her armor or something.
Excellent. You can take these things. These are gone, so we can get rid of the Feywild music. And the next morning, you find yourself in just a gross, nasty swamp with 2 trees.
We still have horses and a goat, by the way.
Regular horses?
Some regular horses and like either 1 or 2 magical horses.
Okay.
Well, one of the magical horses got,
Yeah, which is why I don't remember how many.
Excellent.
Neal,
Well,
were there any signs of the dragon actually staying downstairs in the library?
no, and when you look at the dragon, it looks a little bit too big to fit down there.
But dragons tend to have lairs, right? Like they stay somewhere when they sleep?
That is the working idea. Yeah.
I don't want to go looking for dragon lairs. It's scary.
Well, it is the next day. Let's bring you guys back to the world map.
Apparently, they're all magical horses.
We lost 1 horse, had 4, we're down to 3 normal horses, and you conjured extra horses for the stuff we were carrying. So I don't know why we shouldn't have taken normal horses, but okay.
I don't remember.
Well, you have 21... No, you have 12 points of movement through the woods. So you can go 3 hexes of 4. Actually, you're down here now.
I actually want to figure out if there's a lair where we were, like around there, a proper lair where it would go.
Okay. So you just want to, like, explore the nearby swamp? Just walk around?
I think, like, probably the surroundings of that. I guess it was a lake of the lake around here, right?
Sure. You want to look for the lair. Why don't you tell me how long you want to spend on this endeavor first? Are you willing to spend a whole day on it? A whole 2 days? Half a day? An hour?
I mean, the thing is, Sammy is still unconscious, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we can't, I guess we can sling him over a horse and travel like that.
You can, especially if you're there to, like, keep a hand on him, so whenever the horse, like, moves and he tears a wound, you can, like, repair the small injuries. Yeah, you could transport him.
It would make sense to try to get as fast to a city as possible. We could go to Gumprun again and just camp there and then move from there to Fendon and Vikron Runrenta. That's just 1 day of travel, and we are like nearly at the gates of it. We're neither on the road,
It depends. If like nobody else is interested in the lair, then I'm not looking for it. It's fine. If we just want to leave, I'm cool with that.
If you mention it, then Maya's probably going to be like, oh, the lair. Yes, I'll help you look. Oh,
well, technically, they should have 2 lairs, right? Like 1 here and 1 for the other one that is near.
I don't want to go over the other side of the... So do you want me to roll perception?
Well, I want to know how long you guys want to spend looking for a lair.
There.
A couple of hours maybe in the morning. Just sort of like, let's have a look around for the lair. If we don't find it, it's fine.
At what point are you able to heal Sammy again, that he's able to wake up. How many days?
Sammy? You're muted.
My smallest wound is 13.
And the other one?
Okay.
16.
Oh, God.
Which is why I said it's going to take about a week.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be conscious in 4 days of rest.
Okay. Well, why don't Maya and Sarah make me some perception checks? I guess Bud as well.
With perception, Neal.
Well, whose fault is that?
Mine. Apparently he's rolling badly.
Maya's not terrible with perception. Is that your 27?
Yeah.
My God.
Oh, man. Look at that.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh. And Bud?
It's also 27. It's just, it's just my modifiers suck.
Just having a really good day.
Rolling a perception check too?
We're competitively looking for.
It's the world's greatest Easter egg hunt. So a few hours and a 27 will lead you to, you find these very large dragon tracks on the ground, sort of, a little bit east of where you are presently. And the dragon tracks lead right up to the edge of the water, where you can see there's sort of like a what do you call it? There's a big bunch of rocks in the area, almost forming like a ring of rocks in the water, but a little bit less well defined than a ring, and some, more out there, and the rocks only come like halfway to the shore, so it's like a semicircle, I should say, of rocks in the water, but like a scattered, disjointed semicircle. And the dragon tracks walk right up to the shore side of the semicircle, and here you can see there's tracks leading in all sorts of directions, coming and going. It looks like this is a frequent path the dragon might take, but it just leads you to water.
So it's probably underwater then. Oh, do you feel like swimming? I don't feel like swimming. Bullywugs.
How murky is the water?
Big kahuna murky.
That's a very American. How murky is Big?
It's very murky.
It's very murky, but
it's very murky.
He didn't say the big crystal blue murky. Then that's how American name things. So if you don't know, it's murky.
Heroes of the Storm. Murky's a character that you play. He's a Murloc.
Okay, but
I said
Big Kahuna's ability he takes later in the game, where he becomes like a bigger version of Murky. Just
Big
more.
Kahuna tuna.
Okay,
was,
right. That's.
It doesn't make very much sense. It's not an American thing.
It was only a reference for me, essentially.
Well,
I'm the only.
Sarah also plays HOTS, so
She does in her free time when she's not sitting with the council and talking about politics.
Fun.
If I hand you the rope and if I tug on it, can you pull me up?
Sister? Are you sure that's a good idea?
I mean, the bullywugs haven't been around all day. I'm not sure. I don't think they would be right next to a dragon's lair.
Depends if they know the dragon's dead or not. Well, if you want to try this, sister, then fine. Yeah, so was it 2 tugs and I pull you up as fast as I can?
Exactly. We should also call Bud first, I guess. So we're bringing Bud over here.
I would also very much like to tie this rope to a tree.
Right. That works, I guess.
All right, so you have 50 feet of rope. You can tie it to a tree, giving you about 45 or.
Can I tie 2 pieces of rope together to give us 100 feet of rope, just in case?
Absolutely. If you have 2 pieces, if you have 2 ropes.
Do you have the rope, sister?
Yep. I do have silk rope, actually. So I would have the silk rope.
That's fantastic.
I'm gonna tie them together very, very firmly with like some sort of vertical sailor knot.
Perfect.
You two had the idea to go underwater and rob the lair that's somewhere hidden beneath it?
It's her idea. I just think it's a good one.
Great. I think that's your bonding experience. And I turn around and walk over. I'm gonna look after Sammy.
Okay, fantastic. I'm going to take off my armor and everything that's heavy, like my leather limbs, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm gonna stay nearby, but I'm not gonna get involved.
Do you
if nothing
have
bad
a
happens.
small weapon just in case? By the way, sister.
I don't.
I'll pull out one. I'll pull out one of my hair things and just be like, "Here, you'll need this.
Oh.
Don't lose it."
I mean, if another dragon pops up, I don't think it's gonna. I'll try.
No.
Okay.
But if you close quarters and fighting underwater, don't drown, please.
I'm a decent swimmer, I guess. I'll try. Okay, thank you. I guess I tug it in my belt so I don't poke myself while I'm swimming in a way.
Okay. And you dive into the murky waters.
I let the rope feed out through my hands and sort of like, I've got the whole belaying thing, so I've got it wrapped around my arm and just paying it out.
Okay, so you can hold your breath for a number of rounds equal to 1/3 your con. If you are struggling or being active, that is cut in half again. So if you're swimming basically underwater, it'll be 1/6 your con. And what is your con?
13. Sorry, it's 13.
13. So you can swim underwater for 2 minutes while holding your breath.
Okay.
Guess what my con
Alright.
is? It's 6.
Ooh, that's not very good.
I'm glad I didn't volunteer to do the swimming.
So you dive beneath the murky waves, murky waters, and feel around at the bottom of the swamp here. And sure enough, it's kind of got like this nice soft ledge that's silty with all this weird grasses coming out of it. And a little bit beyond that, it just drops into a shaft that goes who knows how deep. And you begin to swim down this vertical shaft, maybe 20, 25, 30 feet, until it turns horizontal and goes out like under the lake a little bit for another 30 feet. So now you've gone 60 feet. You probably have another 20, 30 feet of rope left, which is just enough to get you to like a little pocket of air in here. And you breach with your head above water in this subterranean thing, but most of the layer is still in water. You can kind of like tread water here. There's no dry land, but there's like a little air pocket around.
Right. So the entire layer is pretty much just underwater.
There's also no light down here whatsoever.
That's kind of difficult. 1 second, I have to have a look at something. I can't see anything, and I'm probably at like the top of the layer. There's an air pocket here. So I do have spells that do emit light, right? Like a slight bluish light, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Do I have... I think it's just healing, but I don't think healing is... Do I have to close my eyes for that? Not really, right?
No, you don't.
Can you cast Cure Light Wounds without it just for the light? Even if you're not wounded? Probably not, right?
Probably won't heal anything. I guess you could hurt yourself and then heal yourself to create the light, but that seems a little sadistic.
I don't think that's what I want to do.
Masochistic.
Should have taken one of those goddamn lanterns from the tomb. Gosh darn it.
Underwater lanterns?
That would have been great.
No, they put themselves out when they went in the water.
If only had a wizard with a light spell.
Right. But I don't. Or one of those firefly things.
Lantern on you or in your thingy?
I do, but we still can't see, right? Like, it doesn't matter if... As it is how I imagine it is, you know, even if you look above water, you won't see anything. I don't think I can do anything here. So this is the end of my rope, you said?
You maybe have another 10 or 15 feet.
Okay, I'll try to go in for another 10 or 15 feet because this is as far as I can go, and I'll feel around if I find like another pocket or something that is, you know, like a stash.
Sure. You can follow the roof or one of the walls for a little ways until you reach the end of your rope, and it does continue beyond that. And who knows how deep it is here. I think you were just following a wall, which then turned into a ceiling. So it could go down further, and it definitely goes back further. You could unstring your rope and explore the rest of the area.
Yeah, and then not find the way back and drown terribly. Of course I could do that if I wanted to. No, it's fine. I gave it a try. Like, I'm gonna, from the little pocket I am in, I'm gonna use it, like, to do a circle, right? With, like, the left 15 feet I've left, like, going 15 feet down, right, left, and touching around. If there's nothing I can find, I'm going back up.
You find, as you go down, you do find something sort of, like, curved and really solid that you reach your hand on, like metal or rock or something, but it's not nearly as heavy as metal or rock. It's some, like, curved bit of something.
Okay. Can I touch it without, like, hurting myself? Is it sharp or is it, like...
It is not sharp.
I'll pick it up, and I'll bring it back to the pocket and have a quick look at it to see what it looks like.
You can't see. There's no light.
All right. No, it's fine. I'll bring it back. Like, I'm gonna give the double tug, and then I'll start moving up as well.
Sure. You can easily exit the lair. You pop out with a fairly large rib bone of some sort of creature.
Well, I found a bone.
Ah, lovely.
I can't see down here, so we might keep in mind where it is and maybe come back with Sammy sometime, but it's pretty murky down there.
Yes. I wonder if I could... I don't think I've got anything that would be useful. Do you have a lantern?
I have a torch, but, you know.
Why would you work underwater? I don't suppose Bud has anything. No. So, can I look at the bone? Like, does it look useful at all?
It's probably just an old rib.
I mean, it's a bone. How useful is it? I don't...
Would it make a good bow, do you think? Probably not, right?
No.
No. Oh well, that's disappointing. But yes, at least we know where it is now, so we can go back maybe with some, some sort of light and...
I'll try to remember the place as well. Like,
yeah.
I never
take an
thought
active
black
note of
dragons
that
were so
one.
aquatic. It's very strange.
Yeah. Apparently they're very aquatic. Like, the whole place was underwater. There was barely any air there.
Odd. Very odd. Well, should we go back?
Yeah, let's go back. I think that was enough of an adventure.
Darius to help us out. That was lovely of him. I'll sort of like untie the ropes and wind them up neatly.
You think he's afraid of water? Maybe that's why he can't swim.
Well, yeah, that's true. Actually, I forgot about that. There's the whole crocodile thing, wasn't there? That was.
maybe that's why he didn't come. Huh.
Maybe, yes. Ah, what a big coward he is.
All right, you meet up with Bud.
Hi, Bud. How are you? We were just talking about you.
Sammy's still
Sammy's
asleep.
all right. He's sleeping. So how was it? Did you find anything?
Wet, dark, and nothing but a large bone. I'll sort of throw the bone down in front of you.
Not my environment.
Yes, we know.
Maybe when Sammy is back up, we can come back sometime, but I don't think without magic I can do anything here.
No, I thought we might head back to Gumprun. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's the wisest choice, really.
Good. So let's
some
pack
rest
up
there,
our
maybe.
things.
Agreed.
on.
Yeah.
Excellent. You guys pack up your stuff and head to Grumpburn. So go ahead and move yourself up to 12 miles today.
1, 2, 3, 4. 12, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
That's not miles.
Yeah,
Perfect.
12.
Yep. And so that is this day. And the next day you can get to Grumpburn. No problem.
Woo! Boom.
Yay.
Grumpburn.
You arrive in Grumpburn on the 21st of September, 1511. Just making some notes. And I should probably draw a dragon over here for the fight.
I thought you were gonna draw a wet rib and a disappointed face next to it, but that's
Disappointed face is beyond my ability to draw. I cannot convey
Can't make a
emotions.
sad smiley, Neal. Really?
You know what? I don't judge you for
Neal.
the way
This is
you
my
do
disappointed
things.
face. Right, Neal. Work from life.
That's too detailed. I can't do that.
No, you just look at the shape of the mouth and the eyes. You don't need to go super detailed. You just...
Look, if this is my dragon right there, then clearly I can't make a...
Which end is the head? And is it
The
a very
end on the
happy
right!
dragon? That looks like a bell end. Is that... Wait.
It's a dragon!
What's the
Is that
front?
apples?
This... Whoops, where
Is that... Oh, wait, is that a
supposed to
leg?
look like that.
This is the head right
That's
here.
the head.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
This
I
is
thought
the
that was head and
tail.
wings and the tail.
Uh-huh.
That's a leg.
Okay,
and
it
those
looks
are
like
wings.
balls.
It's a
Neal,
leg!
you gotta draw the head so it's facing its own back, you know?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be spiraling backwards and eating its own back.
You're in Grumpburn, and no one likes you here. It's a grumpy town.
I thought Scoria's, no? Okay.
No.
Looking around in Gumperun, are we able to get a carriage? A fast carriage to the capital? Is that
Totally.
something we could rent?
Absolutely.
Make a hasty move to a place that might have healers that might actually be able to.
You can absolutely get a stagecoach.
Burn.
Good. So I will acquire that. How much do they charge for that?
You can get a stagecoach to Wicthron Warenta for... If you're going to get rent, you'd have to rent the whole stagecoach for all of your people. So that would be 3 gold pieces. 300 copper in real money.
I will. What's the current date? I will happily pay that.
September 21st, 1511.
Thank you very much.
Right?
And
Yeah.
I will also need a count of the days traveled so I can mark off rations and such.
Sure. The stagecoach will leave tomorrow. The one that went to Wicthorn Renta today has already left in the morning. So you spend a day in Grumpburn at a tavern. There is a nice tavern in town, so you're going to be paying 5 silver for each of you for your own rooms. So that's another 200 copper. Plus the 300 copper for the stagecoach should be 500 copper, and you will arrive in Wicthron Warenta on the 22nd.
How much was it for the inn again?
50 copper per person.
Okay.
Maya is going to have a nice glass of wine.
I'm gonna have a. Do they have a bath there? Is the tavern nice enough for a bath?
In Grumpburn?
Yes.
No. Actually, I take it back. There is a bath. Yes, it can be drawn for you. I think you'll have to pay like another 10 copper, and they will haul hot water up and down stairs for you to get you a hot bath.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, oh, it's a brilliant idea. Yes, bath for me as well. You go
Excellent.
first.
All right, so total of 520 copper, and you guys are no longer stinky and smelly except for Bud and Sammy. Yeah, and we skip a couple days, and you're back in the capital.
As if by magic.
How many days total?
It has been 3
Wicthron
days
to
since you fell unconscious.
From Wicthron to Wicthron.
Oh, round trip, huh? It has been 7, 8, 9, 10 days.
And then -1 for the inn.
I don't know what you're talking about.
For rations.
Ah, yes. Yes.
So it's now the 22nd, right?
And I've had 3 days of
Do
rest.
unconscious people eat?
No.
That's... Of course
It's a
I
saving.
eat.
So we need to render half the party unconscious every time we travel, and we'll make a saving.
Yes, you will. I highly recommend this course of action. It's a great way to do it.
Just like he recommends diving down into dragon layers.
Mhm.
It takes too much work to count per person. How many? So it's 3 days of rest, so 2 healing, right?
You did not have. I guess you've got a healer with you. Yes, so you'd have 2 points. No, because you spent that 1 day walking. It's every 3 days of like full rest.
Okay, so every 3 days is.
So
1 heal?
tomorrow, on the 23rd, after the 23rd, you will have had. No. Because you spend a day in Gruntburn, a day in a stagecoach, which is pretty restful, and then a 1 more day in the capital, and you'll all gain 2 HP back to all of your wounds.
Okay.
If your good-natured sister will actually tend to your wounds.
Yeah, she will.
Great. And why don't we call this our first breaking point, and we will come back on the other side of the break in 5 or 10 minutes with a little more Akuban Nights.
See you time.
See you guys then.
Cool.
Bye-bye.